Peace, it's Equality Fragrances coming to you from Prince George's County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference to understand I'm a cipher. It's peace. For all those new to the channel and all those who have been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. All of that goes a long way in helping the channel grow and it costs you nothing to do. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back. We have a week leading up to Valentine's Day on Monday, so I'm going to give you a lot of good, I'm going to basically call this a rose week. I'm going to give you different elements of rose fragrances in order for you to make a good decision on Valentine's Day. For me personally, I think rose is the most romantic fragrance in all of perfumery. It is the oldest style of fragrance in perfumery. Rose was used as a symbol of love, romance, sexuality. Men, you have to start wearing rose fragrances. There is nothing more masculine than a man in a tailored suit. With that said, a rose fragrance complements that masculinity and really elevates you. I'm telling you right now, rose fragrances cannot go wrong. I don't know anybody who walks into a florist shop and says, it smells bad in here, I'm leaving. There's a reason we buy women roses. That's a reason why you should wear them. So with that being said, today I'm gonna give you the top 5 rose fragrances on the entire planet. Now I have somewhat of a bit of a caveat with that. I have 3 grails I kind of want to get before the end of the year that are rose fragrances. They may bump my order from 4 down a little bit differently, but I'm not going to mention those fragrances till I have them within my possession. So we'll see how that goes. But okay, how did I come up with the best rose fragrances on the planet? I'm in Facebook groups, I'm in forums, and I'm all over the internet, and I look at a lot of people's videos. When you look at most people's videos, the collective thought is Portrait of a Lady is the best rose fragrance on the planet. So I use Portrait of a Lady as my litmus test for judging these fragrances. Is it better than Portrait of a Lady, or is it worse than Portrait of a Lady? And worse doesn't mean it's a bad fragrance, but it just don't measure up. So that's how I came up with these are the 5 best fragrances on the entire planet. Let's go ahead and start the show. Coming in number 5 is a beautiful, bold, voluptuous, rose dominant fragrance. This is, if you do not want attention, don't wear this fragrance. I know people gonna ask me, it doesn't lean masculine or feminine. It's a masculine leaning rose. I've kind of changed my position on masculine and feminine within fragrances, but I will address that at another day. It doesn't mean that a woman can't wear a masculine fragrance and a male can't wear a feminine fragrance. What that means is, to me, the energy and the portrayal that it gives off is masculine energy or feminine energy. Not going to soapbox or tangent with that. This is a masculine rose fragrance. Has essence of incense, spices. This is coming from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This is Purpura. Now, with that said, this is pretty much a 1-for-1 with Frederic Maull's Portrait of a Lady. A 1-for-1, but it's more affordable. You can even find this at discounters, at certain discounters if you look. Where Portrait of a Lady gets this creamy, beautiful dry down from sandalwood, this gets its dry down from chestnut. Other than that, they have a lot of the similar same fragrance. You got patchouli, you get a beautiful Bulgarian rose, which comes off a little lemony, waxy, with the raspberry, so it's slightly jammy, but really not really. A very fresh myrrh in here. Musk, beautiful, gorgeous, bold fragrance. It is almost gothic. Like if I was Vlad the Impaler, I would probably wear this. This is mysterious. This is a beautiful fragrance. Coming from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, that's Purpura. Coming in at number 4. To me, this is the best rose fragrance from the house. I do understand the debate why some people love another rose fragrance from this house. Again, this fragrance uses Bulgarian rose. Remember, 70% of all rose fragrances use Bulgarian rose within them. It is beautiful. I will wear this any season, anytime, doing anything, dressed up or casually. I'm telling you, people love this, men or women. This is unisex right down the middle. Men and women can wear this. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is from the house of Louis Vuitton. This is Les Sables Roses. Now, with this, some people will say they like Ombre Nomad a little bit better. Ombre Nomad is a really good fragrance. I just don't know if I'm gonna buy that fragrance. I have a sample of it if it's bottle worthy for me, because it really doesn't crack my top 10 rose fragrances if I was just gonna line everything up. But it is a beautiful fragrance, but it leans more on the oud smoky side of it. This is more of the rosy side of it. It has ambergris in there, saffron, it has oud, but oud is not a major player like it is in Ombre Nomad. Beautiful, gorgeous, lemony, Bulgarian, slightly cinnamony, spicy, zesty rose. It's almost watery when you add that ambergris within this composition. Again, some people say it doesn't last long. They go nose blind. I'm getting 8+ hours on this fragrance on me. Of course, it's not pushing out over past the room, but I get wafts of it in the 8, almost 10-hour mark. That's for me. I wouldn't consider it a beast of a fragrance, but it lasts long enough in my personal opinion. At the end of the day, I only need 6 hours on any fragrance I buy, but that's a video for another day. And that's Les Sables Roses. Coming in at number 3. Now, my 4 and my 5, I'll let y'all debate amongst yourselves on where those fall. My number 3, my number 2, and my number 1, I'm not even going to debate with you. This is going to be 3, 2, and 1, and I don't care what fragrance you bring up. It's going to be 3, 2, and 1. This fragrance is one of luxury, opulence, seduction, mysterious. This has so many things and qualities going on with the fragrance. When you start talking about rose fragrances, Middle Eastern perfumery, no one does it better. I'm just gonna be honest. That style of fragrance perfumery, no one does it better. Some of the best roses, which is like the Rose Haif, comes from Saudi Arabia. It comes from that region of the world. This is from the house of, from the Spirit of Dubai. This is Fakama. This is luxury in a bottle. It is worth the price of admission. You have Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, Damask rose, Rose Absolute, oud. You have dried fruits. I get a little bit of dates, some plums. This really captures the essence of what Dubai is, or the Middle East is, just the spirit of it all. You're gonna get the souks, the spice market. You get that Arabic coffee, which is coffee with cardamom, and almost a lot of their fragrances, you're gonna get that. You're gonna pick up a little bit of shisha in some of the fruitiness. I don't get as much shisha in this particular fragrance, or a lot of smoke, but you get a lot of woodiness. It's ambery, and you're gonna see a lot of, when you look at the notes on places like Fragrantica, you're gonna see a lot of animalistic notes or chords. Those really are just supporting and making up the leather accord. So it's leathery, it's woody, it's slightly fruity, it's ambery. It is a absolute jammy a little bit, but not. This is a winner chicken dinner. This is an outstanding rose fragrance, one you definitely need to sample. From the House of Spirit of Dubai, this is Fakama. Coming in at number 2. Could arguably be one of the best rose fragrances on the entire planet. Arguably one of the best oud fragrances on the entire planet. This is dark, mysterious, and vibrant. When the rose pops off your skin, it smells if rose was embedded under your skin. When you start dealing with beautiful or the beauty of owning a rose fragrance, there's several different combinations that will support the rose and give you the rosy feel. You have rose and geranium. Geranium is slightly aromatic, green, minty, which combines with the rose to give you almost like the rose and stem quality of a fragrance. You get rose and patchouli or rose and oud, which adds a dark, mysterious, almost masculine feel to the rose fragrance. You have rose and sandalwood, which gives you something creamy, meditative, and sensual. And then you have rose and saffron, spicy, sweet, slightly leathery feel to the rose. This fragrance has all of them. This is coming from the house of Boadicea, the Victorious. This is Carbon Sapphire. Carbon Sapphire is easily and arguably one of the best fragrances from the house. Bar none. It's not even close. It is really one of the best fragrances you can buy from the house. Now, I said it's also possibly one of the best oud fragrances you can buy because it uses Eau d'Assam, aka also known as Indian oud, which is the most expensive, most sought after oud you can get in all of perfumery. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. Is it overly unique? No, because those combinations have been used, but they haven't been used like this. A beautiful interpretation of Rose de Mai. This is Carbon Sapphire. Coming in at number 1. I will not debate anybody on this. This is the king of all rose fragrances. There is no comparison. This is the Lamborghini of rose fragrances. I would even, and it starts with the presentation of the fragrance. This is not cheap. It is not affordable. It costs. But guess what? You cannot buy a Lamborghini for the price of a Toyota Camry. Sure, they both get you to point A, to point B. They use gas, but some things are just superior to others, and this is one of them. This is coming from the house of Spirit of Dubai. This is Narcissi, the king of all rose fragrances. Let's start with the presentation. This is a real rose on top of it. It is the black rose grown out of Dubai. You have to be somebody to even own that type of rose. You just can't go buy it. It is sprinkled with real diamond dust. I don't know if that's showing up. Rose gold, heavy glass, artistic bottle. I'm not even going to talk about the shrine that the stand comes in where you can set this up like you should worship it. Let's get with the fragrance, man. All the great rose elements is in this fragrance. Rose de Mai, Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, Rose Absolute, and Taif rose. All right, so when you spray this, it opens it up. It is bright, it is vibrant, it is aldehydic, it is fruity. You get all of that in those roses because each different of those roses I named have different faucets to them. Slightly jammedy, lemony, honeyed. Then you add that Arabic coffee nuance when you get the cardamom and the coffee, and you get you got that smooth oud, so you get that beautiful oud note. When it first opens up, it's sort of reminiscent to what Carbon Sapphire is. Actually, they almost smell like a 1-for-1, but that's only for 10 minutes. After 10 to 15 minutes, that Taif rose comes in, and that's when it takes off like Usain Bolt and leaves every other rose fragrance in the dust. Taif rose gives off this tea honey, this honey tea kind of quality or faucet to the fragrance. So when you add all those elements from May rose, the Taif rose, the Bulgarian, the Turkish, the Rose Absolute, you start adding sandalwood, you start adding a leathery component to it. I can't talk enough about this. Of course, it needs its own review, but I don't know if I'm gonna review it. It's like $1,300 a bottle. Like, everybody ain't gonna go buy it. I might review it, I might not, I may will. It'll probably only get like 150 views. Nevertheless, if you want quality, sometimes you gotta pay for it. You're not gonna get this. These fragrances are unclonable. You're not going to get a clone house that's going to be able to duplicate this. One, it can't duplicate the quality. Two, it's never going to duplicate the transition because it's constantly transitioning throughout the entire life of the fragrance. King of all roses, Narcissus. So that was my top 5 rose fragrances on the entire planet. I stand on that. I stand on it. Now, I know a lot of you gonna say, but Equalities are really, really expensive. Listen, man, like I said, you ain't gonna get a Lamborghini for the price of a Toyota Camry. It's not gonna happen. And I've seen a lot of your collections. People save up and they get what they want. I've seen what y'all spend. Some people have like 500 clone fragrances. When you add that math up, you could have owned one of these. I'm not saying you have to own anything. I personally do not care if you buy any or all of the fragrances on the list. I don't get kickback. I don't get paid. I'm not trying to sell you something. I'm sharing my experience with every fragrance that I paid for with my own money. I'm not sponsored. Beautiful, gorgeous fragrance. Now, throughout the week, I'm going to be doing different variations and styles of rose fragrances. So it's going to be some other ones that are going to be slightly affordable that you can get that I think you should take a look at. But when we're talking about the best on the entire planet, it is what it is. It's going to cost. Thank you all for taking the time out your day to watch the videos. I'm going to try to upload more. I know I've been gone for a while, not as consistent, but I'm back. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to leave you the way I greet you. And that's the universal language of peace.